Well, the top games of 2025 lists are going to start hitting this week because, well, the Game Awards of 2025 are this week. And I already put up my video going through my top 10 games of the year. Yes, my list might be different than yours. That's what makes 2025 one of the best years in gaming, is the lists are so different. I actually think the lists are usually pretty different every year, but this year in particular feels a lot more diverse. If you haven't checked out my video, I walk through the 10 games, why I think they're my top. But I also have my top 10 honorable mentions, and I want to go through those with you guys in this video, in this live stream. Just to say, listen, there were so many games this year that I actually have two lists. Okay, so very quickly, my list from the upload is I put Arc Raiders in the number 10 spot. And the reason I put Arc Raiders in the number 10 spot is I've spent 30 to 40 hours in a game that I probably didn't plan on spending that much time with. It's sort of taken the world by storm. Never really thought I would enjoy an extraction shooter. And then number 9 is Donkey Kong. Went back to it, cleared it by myself, and had a really good time. Number 8 is Split Fiction. I actually am doing this out of order. Hang on. It was Arc Raiders, then it was Donkey Kong, then it was Borderlands 4. Sorry, I was looking at my original list where I just slapped them all together. Borderlands 4, great co-op. Doom the Dark Ages, a solid Doom, not the best, but I really enjoyed it. Number 6 was First Berserker Kazan. Number 5 was Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Number 4 was Split Fiction. 3 was Death Stranding 2. Number 2 was Expedition 33, practically tied for first with Ghost of Yotei. I spent more time in Yotei. Yotei's a little bit more of my preference. If you want explanations of why I don't think Ghost of Yotei is a cliche revenge story, or why I think Expedition 33 is going to sweep every category that it's landing in, be sure to check out the full video. It's on the channel right now. But what I want to do now is I want to go through my 10 honorable mentions. While I'm doing that, if you're watching on YouTube, very quickly, go ahead and hit the like button. That'll definitely help me out. We are only streaming on YouTube today. I've been having an issue streaming on Twitch. We were kind of analyzing whether or not we should be streaming over there anymore anyway, because we feel like we need to kind of bring everybody back home where we were sort of building over here for 4 years. We may go over there for special occasions. We're going to discuss that today in the green room. That's a great reason to be a member to the channel and in the Discord. We're going to try and kind of figure out what we want to do going into the new year. So, my honorable mentions. I'm going to start with number 10, Satisfactory. It came to consoles this year. My wife and I spent over 10 hours in the game. We kind of got addicted, but then we were watching shows and different things that took over, so we kind of put it to the side. It's kind of hard to re-engage with a game like that, but Satisfactory is an incredibly satisfying game. It's very, very fun, and we had a really, really good time with it. It's a little bit of a learning curve, but about 20 to 30 minutes into it, like every night, we kind of couldn't put it down. Number 9, you may have forgot about this game. I still think this game has a shot at sort of being a mainstay and sort of a constant presence. I also think it has potential with esports. It's called Rematch. It's the soccer game from the makers of Sifu. I actually spent 7 hours in that game, and you guys know me. I don't play sports games. I famously played it one afternoon here with Hilly, and we had a blast. Certainly is a very, very fun game. It got a little exploity, and people were doing weird things. And the matchmaking got a little slanted, so it was like, I can't really have fun anymore. People were literally like floating around the arena. But I think Rematch definitely is an honorable mention. It was certainly an ambitious project from the makers of Sifu, and that is one I think worth checking out if you like those types of games, especially if you like sports games, especially if you like soccer. Number 8, Mafia: The Old Country. That one continues to nag at me and gnaw at me from the corner. Like, I want to go back and finish it. I loved the vibe, the setting, the music. I sort of felt like I was watching, a movie in a good way, not in a bad way. I got about 2 hours into it. I know it's not a very long game, and I've been told, hey man, you should go back. The story gets really good. So I want to give that its honorable mention because it is one that's been sort of calling to me from the backlog, the ever-growing backlog. I spent so much time in games this year, more than I probably ever have. If you go and watch the video of my top 10, each game I spent a pretty significant amount of time in, and that's something that I had to commit to this year and carve out time for in my very busy schedule. Working dads understand our schedule gets eaten up very quickly, especially when you're coaching both of your kids' soccer teams. So coming in at number 7 of honorable mentions is Assassin's Creed Shadows. I would say for about 30 straight hours I was in love with that game, clearing the map and having a good time. And then I was kind of ready to be done. I was wanting to kind of land the plane and finish it. I got to 44 hours. I finished basically the main storylines, and then I had ending things you could do with Yasuke and Naoe. And I just decided not to do that. I didn't want to sour my experience with it too much because I did largely enjoy that game. So I think it's deserving of an honorable mention, especially because I hit 44 hours. Like, that's pretty significant. Some games are coming in at about half of that when you're rolling credits. Number 6, Lego Party. I've hit 8 total hours in that game, and it is a fun game. I've played it with my wife a handful of times. I played it with my nephews when I was up in Ohio, and it quite literally is just like Lego's spin on Mario Party, but the mini games are fun, and it is a funny game. Like the commentators, it's like a literally like a game show where there's hosts kind of poking fun at all the players, and it is a really good time. And coming in at number 5, this actually should be number 1 on my honorable mentions because it almost made it. Arc Raiders took its spot because I really felt like, Arc Raiders deserves it because I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did. I didn't think I was going to play Arc Raiders as much as I did, and it won this sort of non-PvP PvE guy over. It sort of won me over. That's why Arc Raiders had to be included. But Ball Pit needs to be mentioned. I rolled credits on it, got 100%, 31 hours, had a great time with it, and certainly I could put double that amount of time in. There's so much you can do in that game. You can really grind, you can really play completionist, and a lot of people have had a really good time with it. So definitely check that one out if you have not already from Devolver Digital. The fact that I hit over 30 hours in the game, I think, is a testament to just how fun the format is. I think they've got something very special on their hands, and there's more content coming to Ball Pit in 2026. Number 4 is Tales of Iron 2. I loved the first one. I decided to go back to it, and I beat it. And then Tales of Iron 2. It only took me about 7 hours to complete. Not a super long game. I could have probably gotten a lot more time out of it if I wanted to, but I was good. I was good to roll credits. I had a really good time with it. Very cool art style, and a really good time if you like those types of games. Number 3 for honorable mentions this year is Revenge of the Savage Planet. My wife and I rolled credits on that one, another great co-op game we got to enjoy this year. It was a good year for co-op games, honestly, and we hit 13 hours in Revenge of the Savage Planet. So that one is a fun romp, not super serious, not super grindy, just a good time, and you can actually put a lot of time into it if you want. Another game that we kind of turned into a co-op game coming in at number 2 is Blueprints, a very, very creative puzzle game. It honestly was one of the media darlings this year from that indie category, from that like smaller team, sort of unknown studio category. Blueprints is definitely well worth your time, especially if you don't want to look anything up. There was an interview with Elijah Wood where he was like, I just picked that game up. I heard about it. He's like, I didn't read anything. He was taking notes in a notebook and kind of solving things. He absolutely loved it. And many people have taken a very similar approach. My wife and I would just sort of take turns making decisions and playing through. We were happy to just kind of fill the board one time, which is its own sort of challenge, and we sort of unlocked things outside, around, the property and stuff, and we were very happy to sort of put it down after that. There's a lot of things in the game that are very RNG and very like, you have to make this and do this, and we got to a point where we're like, okay, we had fun with this, but we're ready to move on. But it definitely is one worth checking out. And this one is one that I enjoyed. I believe I received a code for this one, and I finished it, but it's not very long. It's called The Midnight Walk. Amazing art style, super, super cool soundtrack. That was one of the things that really stuck with me. There were some pretty pivotal moments. You can also play this in PSVR 2 if you like, and I think that would probably add to the experience. I really, really enjoyed The Midnight Walk. Another one of those very creative, sort of vibey games. Like, it just had its own vibe. So those are my 10 honorable mentions. Like, that's not even my top 10. So, 20 games that I think you could easily check out and have a good time with. And I'm not even including some of the ones that I know are on lists. People are like, well, where's Hollow Knight Silksong? Just had a fundamental disagreement with sort of the philosophy of runbacks in that game and just wasn't really in the mood for it. I'm kind of moving past games that have punishing aspects. There are people who really like a game that punishes them. That's just not my vibe. As you can see, with 20 games this year that I think had an impact on me or that I thought were good or even worth revisiting, I think that's a pretty heavy amount of games that aren't even probably touching some of the games on your list. So I'd love to know the games on your list. Let's talk to the live show now. Guys, try to get us to our first 100 likes. And I got Frayed Voyager. Oh, I already counted yours a little while ago, but I need to count Detonator in the total. There'll be no contest with Twitch today, so let's see how high we can get the member count without Twitch today. It might be without Twitch for the week, because if I can't figure out the problem over there, we're just not going to be able to stream over there. We'll figure out in Green Room today what the plan is with that platform. Silksong is still my top 5, even if I have shelved it for now. It was number 2 on many YouTubers' lists. Punish Me, love some Blueprints. Blueprints is definitely one of those ones that you could always go back to and say, you know what, I'm really going to try to figure all of this stuff out. Because, again, I feel like we just sort of scraped and scratched the surface. And yet, we had a great time with it. Like, I felt very satisfied when we sort of put the game down. I was like, that was a good time. I'm very, very pleased with it. And it's definitely one, like I said, that you could probably always go back to. And I printed 5 coffee orders yesterday. Some of you guys ordered on Thursday and Friday last week, and some of you guys ordered over the weekend. So thank you, everybody who's taking advantage of our coffee sale. You can go to reforgeroast.com or use the link below. The medium and the light roast is currently at $10.95. Totally missed you were streaming because Twitch Glad I checked over here. Yeah, there was no way to really notify you guys over there. I'm going live over there and getting some kind of a weird error in OBS. It started on Friday when I updated OBS. We're not quite sure what the issue is. I'll see if I can't figure it out. Hands down for you, Arc Raiders is your top game of the year. I think a lot of people are going to pick Arc Raiders. I think that's why I had to include it. I basically didn't know what game to give the 10th spot in my list. I was like, I played 30-something hours of Ball Pit, but I also played 30-something hours of Arc Raiders, and I didn't expect to do that with Arc Raiders. Like, I expected to enjoy Ball Pit. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think there was a moment where I was like, yeah, Ball Pit's going to be a hard sell for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of anticipated that game being one that I would like, one that I would enjoy. And so it wasn't like surprising to me that I got kind of hooked by it. What surprised me was the fact that I kept wanting to go back to Arc Raiders. Like, I didn't expect that. I thought Arc Raiders gameplay was going to fall off for me very quickly. I thought I'll have a couple of bad runs and get killed by other players, and I'm not going to want to play, if that makes sense. RNG killed off my enthusiasm for Blueprints. I love the core game, but some of the really complex late game stuff was too contingent on rolling the right rooms, and it felt like runs were wasted. I started to see that as an aspect of Blueprints, Bumblepants, and it was one of the reasons why I sort of, in a satisfying way, just kind of, you can shut the door. Yeah, I know. I don't want to bother him. In a satisfying way, we put the game down. It was like, this was fun. We achieved the thing that we set out to do, but I don't want to deal with the RNG and like trying to make objects. And when you make the object, then you need a room to appear and stuff like that. Yo, Kenshiro Secret Stash, welcome back. Thanks for renewing your membership. And if we could get 20 more likes on the videos, guys, try to help us out. That first 100 likes does make a difference. Is it weird that Diablo 4 pushed its Season 11 start time to after the VGAs end? Usually they launch their seasons at 10 a.m. Well, it's possible. I don't think it's related to the Game Awards statue, Neo Reaper. It's probably related to the fact that they're going to do some kind of a commercial trailer or something at the Game Awards. The Game Awards is the biggest gaming event of the year, so it makes sense that you would say, oh, hey, let's make sure and time our release with that so we can do like a marketing push, trailer, interview, I don't know, something at the event. And then, you know, you have the thing where you can say, hey, and you can play it tonight. You know how they like to do. Not necessarily a shadow drop, but more like a, I don't know what you'd call it. It's almost like you're like riding the velocity of the event. Like the event's kind of like catapulting anything that they talk about in the event. So can't wait for the RE9 demo trailer. Cosmic Invasion is one of yours. Yeah, Madam and I have not checked that one out yet. We're sort of in like the Christmas spirit, so we're watching Christmas movies, and so we'll see if we can't maybe get some of those games back in circulation. I wanted to try third-person Avatar with her, but after I played it the other day on the channel for a little under an hour, and I just don't think that's a game that she would vibe with. The combat's super throwaway. I don't know. I just don't think her and I would vibe with that game. Like, it's a beautiful game that just really kind of doesn't do much for me. Like, it's not that I have a bad time. It doesn't call to me. Does that make sense? Like, there are games that, like, they'll sort of, they'll kind of call to you. They're like, hey, you got to come back and you got to come do this and you got to... Yeah, Avatar doesn't really do that. Yo, it's good, Feed. I see you in the chat. Guys, Feed does not have a badge over here on YouTube. We're going to need to rectify that. Side note, just got back to Milwaukee from Louisville. I saw Billy Strings 2 nights at the Yum Center. Had a great weekend. Hey, man, it's not a great time to be here. I'll tell you that much. It is not a great time to be in Louisville. But a little cold. Little cold, And, yeah. But definitely a nice city. I love it here, but it's not the best time to be here. Hollow Judgment's going to try to get Feed a member, and he's going to drop the first 5 bomb of the week. Han shot first, and so did you. That's the first gifted member of the week. Thank you so much for that. See if we can't have a strong week, potentially just for YouTube. We will see if we can get the thing rectified over there. We are considering... Mainly, we might just do gameplay over there as a way to make more content. And I know some of you guys like using your primes, but we kind of have been having this inclination that maybe the talk show should be over here on YouTube where we sort of birthed it. I mean, for 4 years, this is kind of where we've lived. So, curious what y'all's top 10 lists are. While you're doing your likes, hit that like button. If it's too taxing to type out all 10, maybe just give me your top 3. I would be very interested to see how different the top 3s are. So right now, your top 3 games of 2025 in the chat. Let's see them. That's a little bit harder because you got to limit what you can pick. We got a little bit of snow last night. We did. No, we are not streaming on Purple today. I was getting some kind of an error and a glitch on Friday, and that continued to today. Hollow Judgment's not just going to give 5, he's going to renew 41 months. I graduate with my bachelor's degree this weekend. Your videos were useful background noise while plugging away on the assignments. Well, hopefully you didn't use the word hubris or non sequitur too much, and they were wondering what happened to your vocabulary while listening to my content, but I appreciate that very, very much, Hollow Judgment. Congratulations, by the way, on your bachelor's. Game Awards will help this week. You'll be fine. Drink your Louisville bourbon. That's right. That's how you stay warm. Wu-Chang is probably another one I enjoyed. Top 3, that's hard. Well, Bumblepants has decided to say Ghost of Yotei, AC Shadows, and Split Fiction. All good choices, I think. All good choices. Shiny Ryuji says Pokemon Legends, Ball Pit, Silent Hill F. Now, that's some variety right there. You have eclectic taste, and I kind of like that. So you got Pokemon, Ball Pit, Silent Hill F. I mean, you're hitting the whole spectrum there. You know what I mean? You really are. I like that. I like when lists are that varied. Cat Uncle, I don't know why Nightbot got you. Oh, you put a period in between 2 words. Cat Uncle says Donkey Kong, Hades 2, and Digimon Time Strangers. There you go. Stone Spire says Ghost of Yotei, Outer Worlds 2, Avowed. I've not seen a lot of those listed, Stone Spire. I've not seen a lot of people picking Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed, so I'm glad you enjoyed those. Those are both kind of from the same cloth of RPG style, so it makes sense that you liked both of them. Open your heart to Awa Lono, Pandora calls to you, yes. It's Enjoy says Yotei Dispatch Mafia. I've got people telling me that I should give Dispatch a try, and I remember I did that with Borderlands, Tales from the Borderlands, and I was pleasantly surprised. People were like, Lono, you'll like it. So maybe I need to do that. Behemoth says Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, and Ghost of Yotei and Arc Raiders. Well, there you go. I mean, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, and Yotei are going to be on a lot of lists. I have a feeling. If you press me, says Delta, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Expedition 33, Chronos The New Dawn. Not seen a lot of people pick Chronos The New Dawn. If that's your vibe, survival horror, sort of Dead Space adjacent game, that one had a very cool vibe. I don't really like those kinds of games. I discovered that about myself playing the one remake of Resident Evil and then playing Chronos The New Dawn, and then there was something else I played where I was like, yeah, I don't think I do the survival horror thing. It doesn't speak to my brain. I don't think the way it's designed, I think it connects with certain people, and for me it just doesn't. It just kind of just like bounces right off my gigantic forehead. I'm embarrassed at Pokemon, but I'm 80 hours in. Why would you be embarrassed? If you're having fun, who cares? Hex says, Expedition 33, Where Winds Meet, Split Fiction. Where Winds Meet's going to be climbing on some lists. That game has been done very well. Very popular game. Astro Game of the Year says, Ghost of Yotei, Battlefield 6, Death Stranding 2, Doom the Dark Ages, Monster Hunter Wilds. Not seen a lot of Monhun Wilds and Battlefield 6 in the lists that I've looked at. But yeah, Doom the Dark Ages made it to my top 10. It didn't land as high as I expected it, though. It wasn't in the top 5. It just wasn't a cohesive experience. It wasn't a cohesive experience, and I wasn't quite sure how to phrase it. I tried to explain it in my video. If you guys haven't checked that one out, make sure and check that one out. My upload kind of explains why I chose each game. Matthew says Arc Raiders, Hades 2, Ghost of Yotei, solid list. BNE says Expedition 33, Arc Raiders, Where Winds Meet. Okay. I'm surprised you didn't play Dispatch. I just don't do the it's like a Telltale style game, right? I just don't do those. Now, those end up being very entertaining with Madam. Those games end up being very entertaining with Madam. If you guys would like, we could make that maybe part of the goal this week. Maybe we could make that stretch. Never mind. Madam will be busy that night. Scratch that. This week's incentive is going to have to be, maybe you just make me play it. I don't know. Maybe that's what we need to do. What was I saying? Oh, I was reading through some of the lists here. Jeffrey Smith says Yotei, Chronos, and Kazan. A lot of people were happy that I put Kazan on my list. Pokemon, Sonic Crossworlds, and Expedition 33 says Hollow Judgment. Avowed was good for about a 60-hour play. Let's see. Who have I missed here? Neo Reaper's got Altars on their list. Expedition 33, Altars, Tainted Grail, Forever Skies, and Kazan. Yeah, I've not seen a lot of Altars, but I know that one's kind of on the backlog. I think I'd have to completely re-engage. I think I'd have to start all the way over. I think I would forget the loop of what you're supposed to do. Shout out to Shinobi Art of Vengeance and Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, Shinobi Art of Vengeance was on my top 10 list this year. I absolutely loved it. I couldn't get enough. I did literally everything there was to do in that game. I didn't do the boss rush that you unlock at the very end once you're done with the game, but I did everything else. I really wasn't in the mood for the boss rush. I felt so good at the end. I was like, that was a very satisfying meal. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Death Stranding will be up there, but I'm still playing the first ones. I fired up Yotei last night just to see what's what, and it's beautiful on the Pro. People saying that it would run on the PS4 lost the plot. Yeah, I think there's always, I think for any game, some more than others, there's a lot of force negativity. And I just think that it doesn't matter. If you're having a good time or you think it's gorgeous, like, somebody can say that. Like, who cares? This could run on PS4. Yeah, sure. Okay. Sure, yeah, whatever you say. Eugene says, Bumble, not many 2025 games interested me at all, says Eugene. Oh, Dylan the Villain says, Yotei, Expedition 33, and Hell Is Us. I thought Hell Is Us was going to be a sleeper hit this year. I think people liked it, but I don't think it landed as strongly. I think it would have landed stronger if the combat was better. I think the combat was a little rough, and I think it turned a lot of people off. I mean, I wanted to be in that game and love it, and I just couldn't. The combat just immediately turned me off. People were like, oh, you got to stick with it. It gets better. You did it. I'm like, no. combat's got to feel good from moment one. I maintain that in Metroidvanias. I maintain that in action platformers. I maintain that in Rogues. I need the combat from moment one to feel tight, responsive, and enjoyable. And Hell Is Us just felt super, super awkward from the very beginning. Fair enough. I didn't think I would like Dispatch as much as I did. Yeah, we could make that an altered goal this week because Madam will not be available for Friday night. She's got a Christmas party she's going to with a bunch of ladies. So, Blueprint surprised me so much. We have Listen to Discord. Okay, yeah, sorry. We've got Listen to Discord. So, Lone Wolf has got Expedition 33 as his favorite, then Borderlands 4, Oblivion Remastered, Avowed, Split Fiction, Monhun Wilds, Battlefield 6. Outer Worlds 2 will land high when I get around to it, but I have to finish Expedition 33 first. Sorcerer's got Pokemon, then Arc Raiders, then No Man's Sky, Battlefield 6, Ghost of Tsushima, Borderlands 4, AC Shadows, Fantasy Life, The Girl Who Steals Time, Pal World, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, and Death Stranding 2. Freddie Jackson with 51 months. Yotei is my game of the year, but I truly believe Expedition 33 is deserving of game of the year. Let me add you to the total. Yeah, Expedition 33 is going to win like every category that it's landed in. I don't think it'll win sound design, and I don't think it will win RPG, but I think it's going to win everything else. Yeah, I think it's going to win everything else. South of Midnight was up there for you. South of Midnight was beautiful. I love the soundtrack. Combat just didn't feel great. It was very loose and annoying. It was the one thing that pretty much everybody kind of criticized. I would hope they could do some kind of a quality pass on it to make it feel better. It just didn't feel great, and it needed to. It reminded me a little bit of Kena Bridge of Spirits. Like Kena Bridge of Spirits, especially near the end, Kena Bridge of Spirits combat kind of falls apart, especially in some of the more like longer, like stretched out boss fights. For me, Expedition 33 Ball Pit Wu Chang. I've not seen Wu Chang on a lot of lists, but Wu Chang has something. I got into a fight where they had some hitbox problems with especially like the charge. You're supposed to do this like heavy charge attack, and it's supposed to put them down. And it's a really, really helpful strategy in a couple of the fights. Especially there's like the one where like she's like breathing. She's got like the pipe, and that you use the pipe like that's her neutral. It's kind of like a neutral, but it's also a telegraph. It's kind of both. And you use that to get behind her and just obliterate her. Like once that clicked for me, I was so excited, and I was trying to apply that in other fights. And then I was getting really inconsistent hitboxes in the one fight. I know they address some of it. They also address some of the performance issues. I don't know if the performance issues and the frame issues were playing a role in the hitbox, because I know in games like that, if the frames are acting up, it can make other things act up as well. So I'm not sure if that got addressed or fixed. The last time I booted it up, it was after 2 or 3 patches, and I still just thought it was a very ugly game. It just didn't run very well. It didn't look that appealing. You start playing games like Death Stranding 2 and First Berserker Kazan and Ghost of Yotei, it's really hard to play a game that's not running well. It's like, it's kind of ugly, it's kind of muddy looking. Plus on Black says Ghost of Yotei, Absalom, Atelier Yumiya, Zenless Zone Zero, and Marvel Cosmic Invasion. My wife and I were playing Absalom for a little bit. I don't know if somewhat frenetic action style like side scroller, I just don't know if that's something we can kind of do. It just gets a little too, if it's mindless like Shredder's Revenge, or I'm sure Cosmic Invasion is probably like the whole like it's just a beat 'em up, right? If there's like thought and timing, I just don't know if that's our jam. I also think Absalom, isn't that the one with the really awkward timing on the parry? There's something weird, like we got to a boss and he would do this big swing and you had to parry it, basically, like parry or block it. Like you didn't really have enough lateral agility to get away from it. And he would just kill her. And then I was like basically trying to do it by myself, and I would get some of them. But if you miss like 1 or 2, I mean, you just get obliterated. And I remember some people saying, yeah, the parry timing is awkward. There were other people that, I think there was somebody here that said they put the game down. They couldn't get the timing down, and it felt awkward. It was very early on too. It wasn't a super far boss fight. No, I played Wu Chang on my PS5 Pro, and it just had some performance issues, unfortunately. And I know they've tried to fix it. Even after fixing it, I just don't think it looks very good as a game. A $5 super chat from Neo Reaper. You have a most disappointing game. Mine is Lost Soul Aside. Let me think about that. I usually don't pick a most disappointing game. I would probably agree with you. Was Star Wars Outlaws this year? Or was that last year? I think that was last year. That was a pretty disappointing game as well. Boy, oh boy, did that run like crap. Gone Kid says Donkey Kong Power Rangers, Cosmic Invasion, Gal Guardians 2, Ninja Gaiden Rebound, Shinobi, Syokoden Remaster Collection, Silent Hill 2, Doom, and Expedition 33. You're considering getting the Portal, especially with some of the sales over the holidays? Yeah, I would love it if, there's the rumor about Steam coming to PlayStation, which I can't really make any business sense of why that would happen. So I'm kind of chalking that up as a pretty low level rumor. Like when people were saying, like, Xbox is getting pulled from shelves. Like, we talked about it a little bit, but I'm like, yeah, I think that's kind of a rumor. I don't know how much substance there is. With the whole Steam coming to PlayStation, I do look at my Portal and think, man, I wish some of these games would make the jump over. There was one called Starbirds that is on sale, and it just looks like the perfect game for, like, playing on the Portal over the cloud. Currently, it's only on Steam, though. And people are like, well, get a Steam Deck. And I'm like, I'm just not in a scenario where I would use it enough to justify it. Even my Portal or my Switch 2, those will get some playtime, like on my next trip to Florida, but they're probably just not going to get... It just doesn't... I need a specific context in which I would use them. I can't justify the price of the Steam Deck for like a couple of games that I'm, oh, it's on my wish list. I would play that right now. I can't justify the expense. Mind's Eye was worse than Lost Soul Aside. Mind's Eye was not disappointing because I knew it was crap from the moment I saw it, and people said I was just hating, and I'm like, I don't know how y'all can't see what I see. I could tell that game was bad. I tried to warn people. The very first time they debuted Mind's Eye, I told people that something was wrong. I was like, something's not right. I was getting the day before vibes. From the presentation to the car movement to the car animations. Like, I was like, something's not right here, something's wrong. And so that one didn't really disappoint me. Lost Soul Aside disappointed me because I thought it looked like it was going to be a pretty good game, and it ended up not being very good. So that one was disappointing, especially because, the China Hero project could end up being very good for it could end up being very good for PlayStation. It could end up being very good for the developers. But if that's what you're going to be delivering, then it won't be. So they're going to have to hopefully have some bigger, better releases, I should say, than that one. Excuse me. I'm only watching the Game Awards this year for the announcements and premieres. Expedition 33 is going to sweep every category. Where Winds Meet Your Current Addiction. I mean, they're hitting some crazy player numbers, like 9 million players or whatever. Like, that's insane. They're doing very, very good. When are you getting on Dispatch Sono? Absolute banger. A lot of people are saying that I should play it. We could make that the goal this week for Friday night. Madam will not be available, so we hit the goal for Friday. Maybe we'll do Dispatch on this Friday night for you guys. The Game Awards are going to be at 2 a.m. start in my country, so I'll watch the replay. I'm too old for staying up like that. Oh, I heard that. If even as a content creator, I don't know. If it was at 2 in the morning my time, I'd be like, guys, I think we'll debrief in the morning. I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to do that, man. I'm old man status. Because if it starts at 2, that means you're up until 2, 4 or 5 in the morning if you were streaming. If you were just straight up watching it, you'd be up until 4 in the morning. I can't get into Where Winds Meet. I've messed around with it a bit, but it doesn't pull me in. I could see the combat in Where Winds Meet. It's either going to hit you or you're just going to say no to it. Like, I don't know if there probably isn't a lot of room for for in between there would be my guess. Yeah. We got to see what comes out of that statue. Yeah, the Game Awards statue, if you guys haven't been paying attention to that, we now have confirmation from the CEO of Lords of the Fallen that it's not Lords of the Fallen. I was very confident that it was not Lords of the Fallen. I am still shocked at the number of people that are saying that they think it is Saros. I'm like, what the frick are you even talking about? Like, Saros? Like, I don't see anything that looks like Saros. The animals don't look right. The color doesn't look right. The overall artistic style and vibe doesn't look right. I'm like, this looks way more adjacent to like a Doom game or an Elder Scrolls game. It looks nothing like Saros. That's the one that always throws me off. It always throws me off that people are like, well, if it's not that, then I guess the only thing left is Saros. At this point, yeah, it's Mind's Eye. It's Mind's Eye 2. I still think it's Lords of the Fallen 2. So you think the CEO is just straight up lying? Can't wait till it's magic. Yeah, so we were having a bit of a discussion about this in the Discord. Yo, what's good, Mike and a Mike? Gifting a membership, bumping the line to 14. Thank you, sir. It's Kirby. It's Kirby. Yeah, we were having a bit of a discussion in the Discord, and Eugene's contention was, well, they used the quote from the Magic the Gathering card, so it's probably just Magic. It's like a Magic the Gathering game. And I'm like, I feel like that was a bit of a red herring. Like, would you have that level of mystery and intrigue and then make it that easy to figure out? Like, does that make sense? Like, if you've got that much mystery and intrigue, and everyone's very curious of what's going on, and you're like, we're going to make it super easy to solve with our first clue. Like, that doesn't make sense to me at all. Like, they give no clues, because Jeff Keighley's original clue was just so people could figure out where it was. So people figure out where it is. We start looking at the thing. We start looking at the thing at night. People are talking about how it's making noise. So people start theorizing, right? It's God of War. It's Elder Scrolls. It's Diablo. And those get shot down in different ways. You got Jason Schreier saying it's not Diablo. He also then says it is also not Elder Scrolls. He says, but it's a good one. Corey Barlog says it's not GOW, so some people were like, well, he didn't actually say God of War, so he could be throwing everybody off the scent. It did seem very interesting that, like, Corey Barlog was paying attention to the dialogue about the statue seemingly, like, almost immediately, so it's possible that it's his game. But I don't think you'd have that level of mystery and intrigue, and then on your very first clue, you make it just blatantly obvious that it's Magic the Gathering. Like, I feel like the Magic the Gathering clue is a total red herring. Like, they knew people would be able to figure it out. What card does it come from? Right? I think that's the clue within the clue. And a 5 gifted membership bomb, boom, comes in from my man Sal. We are almost to the first 25 of the week. YouTube, you've got the run of it this week. No Twitch right now. I can't stream over there. There's some kind of a problem with enhanced broadcasting. We have been considering only going over there for gameplay. You guys can use your primes. I know you guys like to use that as a sign of support. I don't know if taking the talk show over there was the right idea. We think we may have to bring the talk show back home. So maybe the glitch in OBS is the soft push that we need to make that decision. We'll discuss that later today in Green Room. That's a great reason to be a member and to be in the Discord. Sneaky says, check my last. Sneaky says, the statue walks, talks, stands, and smells like Path of Exile 2. Now, here's why I don't think it was Path of Exile 2. Path of Exile 2 is my first guess, because The Last of the Druids comes out the day after the Game Awards. However, they've already shown everything there is to show. You have a date, you've got a trailer, you've got gameplay. Listen, if Path of Exile 2 spent that level of money, for a free update and a free new character in their game that is in early access, then, you know, stranger things have happened, but that's a weird one to me. That's a weird one, right? He didn't say that it's not for Diablo. He said it's not for the Diablo 4 expansion. So what would it be? Like a Diablo spin-off game? He said it's a good one. So what would that be? Citizen JV says, I'll support you wherever you are. Keep up the good work. Thank you. It's definitely Diablo Season of Angels. They show the same image in the trailer and the new class transformations. They turn the classes into the animals that are shown in the image. Is that the one? It's this, according to Jaster. Emrakul, the world anew. Legendary creature. When you cast this spell, gain control of all creatures target player controls. Pull it up. The card? I don't know if this card is anything. It doesn't have the quote on it. Why are people thinking that this... Why are people thinking that this is the thing? Is the card? I don't see the quote on here. Someone posted the full card quote in the stream. That's not it. Yeah, I don't think that's it. They purposely changed the season start time. Here's what I don't get. Why would Jason Schreier speak to it specifically not being Diablo expansion if it is some kind of a Diablo expansion? A Magic the Gathering Diablo crossover? Maybe. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what's the card. I think the card is the clue. The card is the clue. What's the actual quote? Let's see here. The Game Awards statue clue MTG card. Okay. Let's see. Google's AI like doesn't even know what to do with it. Okay, specific Magic the Gathering card mention is a split card also named Status or Statue. This card was released with this edition. Okay, the primary clue was the redacted or silent, redacted bleeds, new redacted stir. Diablo 4 is releasing in China also on the 11th, and this is on the information card. So do you mean to tell me you mean to tell me that the clue, the statue, could be for the game releasing in China? Again, I don't think that would be Jason Schreier saying it's a good one. The release of Diablo in China. It doesn't seem like a strong enough thing to do a statue in LA for, or wherever it is. What are the 3 redacted words? I don't know. I can't find it. Let me see if I can find a news article. Magic the Gathering. I don't understand how there's nobody covering this. The Game Awards statue clue Magic the Gathering is what I'm searching. I don't understand. This was all over Twitter, and now I can't find a single article on it. Let me see if the Popverse has it here. No. No, they're just discussing, like, the initial thoughts. How is this not all over the like gaming news? Like, I feel like this would be okay. The Game Awards statue, Magic the Gathering. We're gonna have to go to Twitter. Google's failing me. Discord's failing me. Let's see. Yeah, I can't find anything all of a sudden. I thought people figured out the card that it was on, and they were like circulating it, and I can't find a single thing all of a sudden. Was that a false claim? Were people just saying that, or did people actually solve it? I can't find a single tweet now. I can't find a single article talking about the Magic the Gathering card. If it's Magic, no one cares. Well, it's a puzzle. I don't know if it's fair to say nobody cares. People are trying to solve the puzzle. Super Mario 4. Does Magic have this much aura? The blank or silent, something bleeds, something stirs. I thought people solved it. I now can't find anybody with the solution. I can't find an article with the solution. I can't find a tweet with the solution. Is all of the search on Twitter and Google broken right now? I can't find it. Nobody can find it because Discord would have it by now. You guys usually find it faster than I can. No, the card was never posted. That's what I'm saying. Did we get duped? It's nowhere. There's not a Google. I can't find a Google result. I can't find a tweet result of people showing the card that it's on. Does anybody know the quote? Like they actually solved the quote. Does anybody know the quote? I don't think anybody can even put the quote right now. Maybe the answer was a letdown? No, I don't think so. If you solve a problem that everybody's talking about or a puzzle that everybody's talking about, you would cover that 100%. Even if the results are disappointing, that's a headline, that's a click rate. These outlets wouldn't not cover it. They would get a lot of clicks. Even if it's disappointing, they would get a lot of clicks. Rich Rod with 33 months says, "What's up, Lona? Did you see the Deviation Games leaked early production gameplay? It's fully canceled, but I wonder if this is the direction Dark Outlaws game." I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm going to bump the line to 20. We're exactly 5 away from 25. What's the quote again? I don't know. Suddenly, nobody can find it. Discord's looking for it. I'm looking for it. We can't, and you guys in chat, no one can find it. There's hundreds of us right now that could potentially find the solution. No one has it. I swear I saw the solution. Somebody put it in the Discord. The hills are silent, sky bleeds, new world stir. It's from a Silent Hill video, but that's AI. That's not what I originally saw as the solution. That's different when what I originally saw. What I originally saw was something else. It said something with gods. The stars are silent, terror bleeds, new gods stir. So you think is okay, let's punch that in and see what we can find. The stars are silent, terra bleeds, and new gods stir? You're saying that's the quote. I get nothing on Google when I search for that. Nothing. It literally says there are no search results in news for that. Let me go to all. Now they're saying that that's from Warhammer. I also said over evils, the stars are silent, terror bleeds, new gods stir, are evocative and resonate. The phrasing or similar variations is part of a recent Cryptic Online teaser campaign. So the first time I put it in, AI said that it was Warhammer. Yeah. Sean Murray has been hilarious. Yeah. Sean Murray has been hilarious in this entire thing. Space Marine 3? Maybe. The animals, though? I don't think. I think we got tricked. I don't think anybody has solved it. Yeah, the animals would throw off. The animals would throw off the it being Space Marine. So, okay. I was not super paying attention to this over the weekend, so I only popped into the Discord very briefly. And I swear to you, somebody had the quote and somebody had a screenshot saying it's from Magic the Gathering. I feel like we got tricked by somebody. Because now, I can't find a single thing saying that. I can't find an article or a tweet claiming that. Nowhere. I feel like it's new. I don't necessarily know. Listen, with machine learning and AI and the power of the internet, that quote would be solved by now. That's why when people said, oh, it's already been solved, it's Magic the Gathering, I was like, that doesn't make an ounce of sense. It was in YouTube chat on Friday. I thought I poked my head in the Discord, Eugene, and I thought I saw something. I thought I saw somebody had found it. I think we got people making false claims, and it sounded good, so people ran with it. That's why when you said what you said in the Discord, I was like, Eugene, that doesn't make any sense. Why would they make it that easy to solve? Unless I thought it was a red herring. I thought it was trying to throw people off. Can I please have the word shown? We don't know what the words are. What I just put in, the stars are silent, terror bleeds, new gods stir. That's not even the one that we saw on Friday. Somebody had put something else in our YouTube chat on Friday. The quote is in the Diablo 4 Season of Angels trailer. Look at the Season of Angels trailer. Okay. Corey is saying Diablo 4 Season of Angels trailer. What are you talking about? Are you typing? Are you memeing? I don't see anything called Season of Angels. There is. I'm on YouTube right now. I typed Diablo 4 Season of Angels trailer. Is there a typo in there? Do you have the name wrong? I think I found the text. The stars are silent, terror bleeds, new god stir. Gets nothing on Google. It's Season of Divine Intervention. Okay, so you're telling me Season of Divine Intervention from 4 days ago. You're telling me that in this trailer, that quote is in this trailer. So I got a trailer here. I got a trailer here from YouTube, from IGN. You're telling me it's in this trailer.
There is no light here. Only sin and darkness.
The night is always darkest before the dawn, Wanderer. And I, Hadriel, will guide you to the light. For perhaps the first time, Asmodan speaks the truth. Heaven has abandoned you. But I have not.
Corey, where does it happen in the trailer? I feel like this would be all over Twitter if this 3-day-old trailer had the quote in it. Like, this is literally a false trail, I think. This is not a new trailer. This is 3 days old. This would be all over Twitter.
Give you the tools and the holy spark to ignite the crucible of justice.
Yeah, Corey, I don't know where you got your information. Well, I mean, we're fact checking right now. It's 20 seconds left. There's not much time left.
Darkness gathers. But fear not, Wanderer. A new day is coming. And you will be the dawn.
So that claim has just been falsified. That is not the case. That quote is not in the Diablo Season of Divine Intervention trailer. We're not streaming on Twitch because I keep getting some kind of an encoding error when I try to stream over there. I updated OBS on Friday and now I can't stream over there. So, yeah. The quote's not there. Just got here. Lords of the Fallen had a similar tweet to Jeff's tease for the statue. Lords of the Fallen CEO came out and admitted that it's not them. It's not them. The season looks... The music and the dialogue were great, but the season itself didn't look very good to me. I don't even think that season fits the blank or silent something bleeds, new something stir. Like, I don't even think that lines up with what he was saying in the trailer. Like, the theme seems to be that something really bad is coming. Like, I don't know. The something are silent. The gods are silent, maybe. Something bleeds. New evils stir. Like, to me, it sounds ominous. And the Divine Intervention trailer doesn't come across as ominous. This won't be a season. He still hasn't mentioned Alter Beast. I mean, everybody... What do you want me to say? That one's getting thrown around quite a bit. I mean, I don't... I don't have a way to falsify that. You know? There's no way for me to... I can't do anything with that. The gods are silent. Yharnam bleeds. New hunters stir. Bloodborne remake or Bloodborne 2. I've seen people say that they feel like it's got FromSoft's DNA in it. I kind of tried to draw that with my tweet where I said that it reminded me of... I think some people misunderstood this tweet of mine. So I was simply trying to establish DNA here, like artistic DNA. So the way that this straight line comes down and you see these spikes flaring out in almost the exact same way. You have a straight line down, these things are flaring out. Also, if you look at all of the runes from Elden Ring, it has like FromSoft's DNA in it. There's something about it that just gives me FromSoft vibes. And so, but then the animals are a little too realistic to be like a Bloodborne or like an Elden Ring. Like, there are definitely animals in Elden Ring, but I guess they're kind of realistic. They're also kind of not. So, it's a PlayStation From game since Sony now has the most people at the table. I mean, this isn't the first time. If it is PlayStation, it's not the first time that they've decided to market something in the public space with a statue. They did it with Kratos' axe. They did it with the PlayStation 5. They did it with Horizon Forbidden West. There have been multiple occasions where they have put a statue in the public space. So, Yeah, it could. If it's PlayStation, then it wouldn't be the first time that they've done something like this. It's not giving me FromSoft vibes at all. I just think the art style does. I mean, I don't know. People are seeing what they want to see. I think it's like this is literally like a social experiment Rorschach test. Like, I think people are seeing what they want to see. The fact that I can pull up the Saros trailer and people will swear it's Saros, I'm like, I think people are seeing what they want to see. It's like a Rorschach test. I'm like, the colors don't match, the art style doesn't match, the items don't match Saros, like, at all. Like a bird, a snake, a bear, a wolf, an alligator, none of that's in Saros. And I mean, none of that. And people will still insist that it's Saros. It's like a Rorschach test. Like, people are literally, some of us are seeing a vase, some of us are seeing two people kissing, some of us are seeing a horse. Like, it's like, I don't know. Eugene says, I'm just seeing disappointment. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's a Rorschach test. What do you see? You know? What do you see, chat, is the ultimate question. What's the most disappointing thing it could be? Since Jason Schreier said it's a good one, I don't think it's a troll. I don't think it's a gag. And I don't think it's going to be some, like, crappy mobile game. Like, people are, you know, speculating it's going to be something that everybody's, like, joint in disappointment on, right? For me, it would be pretty disappointing if it's just like some Magic the Gathering game. Like, when I heard that, I was like, wait, are you freaking serious? Like, yeah, Starfield on PS5. Starfield on PS5. Like, that would be the most disappointing thing for me, is if it was like an IP that I don't really care about, and you got everybody excited, for something like that. Obviously, if it was Magic the Gathering, a ton of people would be excited. I'd kind of be excited for them, but I wouldn't be excited for me, if that makes sense. A good one to him might not be a good one to me. Fair, but was he speaking about his own preferences and his own opinions, or was he sort of saying, hey, somebody ordered some coffee, Mike on the mic got 2 bags of Frickmas. Guys, the Reforge Roast is having a big sale right now. You can go to reforgeroast.com or use the link in the description below. Our medium roast and our light roast is $10.95 a bag. That is cheaper than like any coffee you can get at the store. And we're doing that. We are doing that because we are trying to move through our medium and our light roast. So you can help us with that. So we appreciate it so much. Still hanging on to Kingsfield as the FromSoft game, and this December marks its 30th anniversary. Yeah, it could be something completely out of left field like that nobody's going to accurately guess. Like, let's be honest, you do get to a certain point where there is no way to guess, right? Like, one of the reasons I wanted to do my top games in 2025, if you guys haven't put your top 3 games of 2025 in chat, feel free to do that right now. Also, take a quick second and hit the like button. We're an hour in. We did schedule the stream like last night. We're going to try that this week and see if it doesn't help more people find it. We had a couple people complaining last week that they were having a hard time finding the live stream. So I don't know if that helped or not. Let us know if that helps. Like, if you're like, hey, I finally see the stream on my homepage, let us know. And hitting the like button will also help more people find the video. So consider doing that. And consider putting your top 3 games of 2025 in the chat. Obviously, the top games of 2025 is going to spark discussion about the Game Awards, which is why we're now talking about the Game Awards statue. We will be co-streaming the Game Awards on Thursday. We will be doing that. So if you want to be here for that and come in with your predictions, we'll go through and I'll show you all of my votes on Thursday. I'll kind of do that with you guys. And this time it's actually saving my votes. Like last year, it wouldn't save my votes. It was very, very odd. So we will we'll be doing that on Thursday of this week. I finally saw the stream on my homepage after a month. I haven't seen you in a long time, Sane. You're literally a name that I hadn't seen in a long time. So that's interesting that you say that. I wonder if anybody else can testify the same thing. Because Sane, you've got a red badge if somebody gifts or you end up with a membership. So you've been here for a very, very long time. Let's see. We got some people putting in their games. Petrov says Expedition 33, Yotei, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Cookin' Kung Fu says the statue for the Game Awards is the new Blue Point game. Tomb Raider 1 through 3 had tigers, bears, snakes, and monsters, so maybe it's a reboot. I don't think the demonic theme necessarily fits with like a Tomb Raider. I also don't know if you'd spend that kind of a budget and kind of an event on a Tomb Raider game. Wasn't Blue Point supposed to be working on a new IP? Yeah, they were. They're supposed to be working on a new original IP. The God of War live service thing I don't think was in production yet. I think it was in early stages of planning. And I think they being in the early stages of planning, they just decided, no, we're not going to do this. Which was, probably the right call, but I think they were also working on an original IP. Liquid Smoke says Expedition 33, Yotei, and Dispatch. FromSoft has never let me down. Laura doesn't wear suits of armor. Yeah, there's like medieval armor in the statue as well. Guys, double check it, saving your like. We're at 145 likes. We could probably very easily hit 200 likes really quickly. A $5 super chat from Rich Rod. Could be Blundell's game. Deviation Games. Draconis Leak was a third-person sci-fi game. Maybe this is keeping the same energy. It doesn't seem sci-fi at all. It could be Cory Barlog's game because Jason Schreier came out a while ago and said that Cory Barlog's game is not sci-fi. So it could be his game. Why else would he be in Luke Stevens' chat making sure people knew very, very early on? I mean, literally the day that people were talking about it and it was getting coverage, he walks out and he's like, it's not God of War. Well, he doesn't say God of War. He says it's not GOW. Like, okay. What does that mean? A £5 super chat from SDO. Personal list. Octopath Traveler 0, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Expedition 33, and Battlefield 6. Let me set a goal for you guys on the super chats. I will gift a member. We're going to try to have to hit the goal without Twitch this week, so it's going to be a little bit of a slog to do that. We're having a problem streaming over there, which we may change how we stream over there. But we're a 5-bomb away from the first milestone of the week where I owe you guys a member. So you can help us hit that with your renewals, but you can also help us with the super chats as well. And the likes. Split Fiction Shinobi Expedition says Viva. Vivas and Enrique says Split Fiction Shinobi Expedition 33 Yotei. That's all I played from this year. You played First Berserker. I don't know if it counts. What time is the Game Awards tomorrow? The Game Awards are not tomorrow. Game Awards are Thursday. I believe, what is it, like 7 p.m.? December 11th? Yeah, I believe it's at like, what is it? 7 p.m. Eastern? Do they have it officially listed on their site somewhere instead of just the voting? December the 11th in the Los Angeles Theater. Share. If I go to tweet it, do they have the time? No, they don't have the time. I think it's like 7 p.m. Eastern. That's usually when it is. I could have it wrong. Is it earlier in the day than that? Their website doesn't say. I'm cooked 7 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, does the trailer... Oh, yeah, the trailer has it at the very end. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, sorry. 4:30 p.m. Pacific. Sorry. It's at the end of their latest trailer. I've always found it weird when they do that with events. Like, they have... Like, you go to their website, and they have, like, the date, but no time. I'm always like, that's a little strange. But, hey. Did you play Marvel Tokone? How was your experience? I don't play fighting games, so I have zero interest in playing that game. So a ton of people were tweeting about it and getting into the beta. I think it could be a very successful game, but I have zero interest in it. I just don't play fighting games. Not since, like, I played Street Fighter when I was a kid, and then I played Killer Instinct and got my butt kicked all the time by my older brother and his friends. And yeah, I'm not a fighting game guy. My most enjoyable, Kazan. Best game I played, Expedition 33. Personal favorite, Dripping with Bias, 100 Line Last Defense Academy. Well, there you go. You love Tokone. You played all weekend, says Feed on Lands. Hilly says, my top 3, Expedition 33, Arc Raiders, Split Fiction. Hilly, did you finish Split Fiction with somebody? Did you finish it with somebody? Because I feel like we stopped halfway through because my basement flooded, and I don't think we ever came back. I don't know if we ever came back to it. Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because we got halfway, and, like, I was like, I don't know if I can beat this game that many times that close together. Because, like, you and I beat It Takes Two, and then, like, a year later or more, I went and played It Takes Two with my wife, and then, like, another year passed, and I played It Takes Two with my son. So I think we did finish. I felt like we did too, but where is the gameplay? Did we switch it to members only? And did it? I wonder if it got deleted. I felt like we finished too, but then I went to the channel and I was like, oh, Creature deleted us? Yeah, I think I unlisted like half of the playthrough because I remember halfway through my basement flooded and I was like, yeah, I guess we never went back. There was a Street Fighter Championship this weekend. It was a fun watch. Nice. If you're testing something, say it. Don't insult the intelligence of the audience. Is there a real problem with Twitch? Or are you testing something? Don't lie or take the audience as fools. Dan, do you have any idea, like, how frustrating it is to have someone type what you just typed after I spent time Friday and Saturday and Sunday and time this morning trying to troubleshoot what the problem is? Like, there's not really a polite response here that I can give you. Like, I spent my time and energy trying to solve this problem. I don't know what's happening. Like, I don't know what's happening. If I wanted to test something and just didn't want to stream on Twitch for a week, homie, have you followed me for the last decade? I would just say that. I would just say, hey guys, we're going to run an experiment this week and just not stream on Twitch. I would just shoot straight with you. That's how I've always been. I've always been that way, brother. I literally was frustrated this morning. Like, ask Wired Rope. I was DMing Wired Rope over the weekend, and I was like, brother, do you know any reason why this would be happening? I can't stream without it pulling in this weird encoding error. I've been accused of being too transparent with the audience. The fact that you would even insinuate that I would just, like, straight up freaking lie to you guys is kind of ridiculous. I'm literally too transparent. You know what I mean? Like, I probably explain too much of what we do. I was like, where's Reforge on Twitch? Yeah, there was no good way to notify you guys. I went live over there and the error was continuing to happen. And I was like, I don't have time for this. I got to make content. I can't sit here and do this again. I literally tried after Madam and I shut down on Friday night. I tried to figure it out. I couldn't figure it out. I tried on Saturday. I tried on Sunday. I can't figure out what happened. I really, really can't. I wish that I could. It's so much easier to just admit to testing than to have 4 days of lying to trick the audience. You did say something last week about dropping Twitch. I said it this morning. I said maybe this is the soft push we need to just stop. It's not worth it. It's not worth the frustration. It's like I'm sitting here wasting daylight, you know, trying to figure out why all of a sudden it's called enhanced broadcasting. For some reason, if I try to do enhanced broadcasting on Twitch now, I get an encoding error. I don't know. I don't know if it's because it happened on Friday after I updated OBS. So it could be because maybe I have to log into my account in OBS, maybe, because I think you have to have permission to do that. And I got into the beta. I don't know. Transparency in what we do has been incredibly harmful, but you think he's just decided to not do that after 10 years. And I'm the one who said something about dropping Twitch. Not him. Don't cross your wires. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of open to anything at this point, because we're running out of things that are under our control. There's only so much we can do under our control. There's a lot of things that are out of our control, so I've just kind of released that, and I'm like, I don't know why, live streams are getting such low impressions on YouTube. I can't control that. What I can control is I scheduled the stream earlier for you guys, seeing if that would help. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's only so much I can do. Lone Wolf with 38 months and a VIP plus. Can't believe it's been 38 months. Love the community. Thank you for the content. You the go. Thank you, Lone Wolf. Let me add you to the total here. Appreciate you, dude. 21 on the week. The ultimate win for YouTube. We won, guys. Yeah, YouTube's running away with it. Stupid. Have you tried hitting it with a hammer? No, I have not tried that. If the computer wasn't so expensive, it'd be very tempting. Because when I get angry, I hit stuff. I do. That's something that I do. Like, if it's a physical item, I will hit it if it's not working. I put knuckle dents in the top of my brother's tower, like, before I was married. So this is like 23 years ago or something. I was so frustrated. Yeah. Jay and some others have suggested doing gameplay on Twitch. So, yeah, I don't think I saw this. Soros has been raided in Taiwan. Pre-orders expected imminently. Yeah, I would expect Soros to be at the Game Awards. I don't think Soros is related to the statue. But yeah, I could definitely see it being there. Somebody once said that our computers barely work, and most people don't realize. Yo, Cisco, thank you so much for renewing your membership and getting us to 22. I greatly appreciate it, man. I tell you what. Let me clear the question queue here. We've not been doing a lot of Q&A lately, but that is something you guys can do as members. It's a members-only perk. Any question that you might have about gaming, go ahead and submit. Did you try your other rig? Well, no, I'm not going to do that. That wouldn't make much sense if it was just this rig. We'd be having trouble streaming on YouTube. I'm streaming on YouTube at a higher bit rate than I do on Twitch. I don't know what the issue is. I don't know. Enhanced broadcasting sends multiple signals, but it was barely at like a 20K after it's all said and done, because the lower resolutions don't take as much bitrate. So I don't really know. We're not going to solve it right now. Trust me. I mean, unless somebody comes in that specifically knows the problem. I ran a bug report and it said there were no critical errors. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Star Wars game is going to be at the Game Awards. Yeah, somebody said that it's a game that ends with the name The Old Republic. I don't know if the person that was leaking that is reliable. I don't know if they've leaked stuff before and gotten stuff correct. But we definitely saw that. Yeah, we saw there's been some claims in that regard. Oh, this is a really good question, because I feel like, wasn't this leaked at some point? Is it time for a really well done Masters of the Universe game? Wasn't there a leak about a He-Man game? Am I out of my head, or was that something that actually leaked? Because it kind of could be a He-Man game. I mean, maybe. I don't know. That would be completely out of left field. Am I misremembering? KOTOR remake, wasn't that basically dead? I feel like we've heard that it's dead and it's back and it's dead and it's back like multiple times. I'll be honest with you. I don't know at what point on the graph we are now. You know, the whole it's over, we're so back. We saw a trailer for one. For a He-Man game? A He-Man game is coming? Let's see here. Oh, it's a side scroller though. I don't think they would do this for a side scroller. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction is like a beat 'em up. Yeah. Like, this is happening. This is real. I was going to say, I thought there was a He-Man game coming. Yeah. I don't think... I'll be honest with y'all. I don't think that's what the statue's for. 37 months for the Cisco. Thank you so much. My boss left our company. I'm the boss now. Happy Monday, everyone. Well, hey. Great for you, I think. Is He-Man big enough now? That's a fair question. I honestly don't. There's so much nostalgia to so many old pieces of property. It's hard to know. You know, it's hard to know. No, I've not tried restarting the PC. I don't think that would fix it. It's an issue. That's not the issue. Yeah, Cosmic Invasion style. Yeah, Shredder's Revenge, Cosmic Invasion, and the He-Man game all kind of bringing back that vibe. $5 Super Chat. I figured it out. It's Darkstalkers. Been waiting for years. Thank you so much for the $5 Super Chat. Sneaky Wolf. Someone at the He-Man studio got a major bank error and spent it off on that big statue before the bank could correct. Skip the He-Man game expeditiously? What? Why? Is it just not your vibe? I mean, I thought it looked fun. I mean, I know those games are kind of like, you know, they're kind of throwaway, but they're fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, I played Shredder's Revenge with my kids, and we had a blast with it. Some of the emails. Let's give the email. Okay. Cosmic Invasion looks fun. Yeah. It again. It reminds me of you know, the classic 2D beat 'em ups. Reminds me of Shredder's Revenge. Obviously, a He-Man game done in the vein of God of War. Yeah, you could pull that. I think you could pull that off pretty easily. Yeah, there's certainly a style there that would work. You know, kind of visceral, a lot more maybe like magic. You know, a question from It's Chill Will. He says he submitted that using like the members only question command. He says, any other PlayStation studios that may make an appearance at the Game Awards? So I could see them doing something like they did with Intergalactic, which is why it could be Santa Monica, you know, announcing Cory Barlog's game. Like, they announced Intergalactic, and according to pretty much every source, that game's not coming out until 2027. They could easily announce something at the Game Awards that we haven't seen or heard of yet that's not coming next year. That's coming in 2027. Whether it's Cory Barlog's game. I mean, it might be time to announce one of the Horizon games. The Horizon multiplayer game. Or the next mainline single-player Horizon game. You know what I mean? I must apologize for my lack of interest stance on Astrobot. I bought it for my kids during Black Friday, and I've played it more than they have. Yeah. It's a good game. It's fun. It really is. My wife and I have been replaying Mario Galaxy 1. And, man, Astrobot just captures that vibe so incredibly well. It really, really does. The Horizon multiplayer game is overdue to be shown. Well, do you think about it? Let's see here. Forbidden West came out 3 years ago. I could see them waiting to announce the next mainline Horizon game until next year. I could see that. Wait till your 4th year out and then release it on the 5th year out. You know, it might be a little bit earlier there, but it could be. It could be time. It could be time to finally announce it. Have we considered Remnant for that statue? I don't know. Remnant 2. See, the minute you get into worlds like Remnant, it doesn't fit. Remnant's in the grotesque and the nightmarish. Like, I don't see them having realistic bears, wolves, anything like that. Any of you recommend Astroneer? Kind of need a new survival, and Satisfactory is not feeling as good as I expected. Yeah, people in chat have to weigh in on Astroneer. I remember my son tried it, and he didn't like it. He did not like it. Astroneer is coming out with something new, though. I think it's next year. It's like a spin-off game. Astroneer spin-off game. It's called Starseeker. Starseeker Astroneer Expeditions. This is very much like No Man's Sky infused, multiplayer infused. So it's clearly Astroneer, but more in the vein of like going online and playing with people and having like it looks like a shared world. The beginning is rough, but once you learn the systems, yeah, it seemed kind of tough. It seemed kind of tough to like learn the systems. Like I was trying to help him and I was playing something else. It's like he'd hand me the controller and I'd be like, okay, let me see what you're doing here. It was like systems upon systems upon systems. So like maybe they could streamline some of it, but he wasn't vibing with it, and I wasn't. It wasn't a game I was looking to play at the time. I was playing something else. Harbinger, thanks for 28 months. I hope the statue is for a new IP. Thank you so much. And a question submitted by Neo Reaper. Chances it's Divinity Original Sin 3. It's also getting a lot of traction for the statue as well. Let's go Divinity Original Sin 2. Let's get kind of an art vibe here and see what we think. Yeah, because this is in that Diablo Elder Scrolls lane where, you know, medieval armor certainly could deal with, like, you know, the sort of like demonic undertones, demons coming up or through some kind of a portal. I guess I'd be curious to see, is there like, let's see, Divinity Original Sin, animals. Divinity Original Sin. Okay, so they have normal animals in that game. They have dogs, cats, sheep. So yeah, that one's grounded in the real world enough that the animals don't throw it off. There have been a handful of games thrown out there that as soon as I look at their art style, I'm like, no, That doesn't work. Your realistic animals are, there's just a certain type of game and world and art style where you're going to see like a realistic looking bear, a realistic looking, an alligator. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like those, I don't know. That's Larian. This might be the next installment. It's about the right time that they're done with Baldur's Gate 3 updates. Yeah, I mean, maybe they're announcing it. Maybe if it's Larian, then they could be announcing Divinity Original Sin 3. Yeah. See the SOL Shogunate trailer? Yeah, it looks pretty cool. We looked at that last week. Hey, it's Chill Will says, you think the rumored Star Wars game could be Jedi 3? I saw that thrown out there as a possibility. I don't know. Let's see. Jedi Survivor release date. Are we just 1 year? 2 year? We're 2 years out. We're only actually a year and a half away from when Jedi Survivor came out. So Jedi Survivor came out in 2023. Fallen Order came out in 2019, so it took them 4 years. So if there's another Jedi game, which we believe that there is, based on the ending and based on what the actor said, what's his name? Cameron Monaghan, I think is his name. I believe he indicated they were already working on the next one. So I would think maybe we'd hear about that next year. There was a rumor that the Star Wars game that we're hearing about is, it ends in the Old Republic or whatever. So, let me just check something. Just putting something on somebody's radar. We got another question here from Sorcerer. After Hello Games revealed Light No Fire in 2023 Game Awards, do you think we'll hear any new information from this award show? I feel like Sean Murray spoke or said something recently that people said was like a little discouraging. Like maybe we're still a long ways away from Light No Fire. I think I saw headlines and YouTube videos about that. Like, I guess like he did an interview or something, and people were like, yeah, Light No Fire is still a ways away. So yeah, I don't know. At this point, I think it's clear they're putting things into No Man's Sky that are like actual, elements or mechanics or whatever from Light No Fire. Like they're putting them into No Man's Sky. That doesn't necessarily give us a timeline though, because like how many systems with a game that's that ambitious and that potentially insanely large, there's like a limitless amount, there's like an unlimited amount of systems that they could potentially be workshopping and testing inside of No Man's Sky. It annoys me how quiet your keyboard is. You need some blue switches. Using it as testing. Yeah, which I think is smart, but it also means like I don't know. They could have another year or two of testing. I mean, because their ambition for Light No Fire is kind of crazy. Imagine they have to put the whole of Light No Fire into No Man's Sky. There have been theories about that maybe is what they're going to end up doing. Like we're going to like open a portal or something, and then the planet will be inside of No Man's Sky. I don't know if that will. I don't know if that will work. Yeah. I don't know if that will work because, like, as far as what they're saying about Light No Fire and the ambition behind it, it sounds like it's going to have to be a game that's like its own thing, like it's contained. So, I don't think that'd be a good idea either. I don't think you would want to try to put one game inside of another. All of the systems, all the AI, all the different characters, you know, the weather systems, everything that's got to be like basically running. I don't necessarily think you could get that to run inside of No Man's Sky. I think that would be pretty crazy for them to do that. So, and I don't know if that would like necessarily like benefit the game. Like, would that benefit it? It'd be cool if like we do something in No Man's Sky that like is linked to an event or something that opens up and launches Light No Fire. But yeah, what if every planet in No Man's Sky becomes a Light No Fire planet? Well, no, that's not what they're selling you in Light No Fire. Is it's literally a planet, like the first truly open world game. It's like going to be like the first truly open world game, like a single open world. So yeah. I can see them adding the planet just to have them connected, but two different games. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that would look like if it's like a single planet, you know, and then what would you do on the planet in No Man's Sky, I guess would be my question. Because maybe we can kind of explain why I don't think that would work. Number one, the planets in No Man's Sky are procedurally generated and random. As far as we can tell, the way that Light No Fire is going to work is there's going to be like biome diversity on the planet itself. Now, that doesn't happen in No Man's Sky. If you land on a planet, the whole planet is basically that biome. If it's got like a ton of lava and these weird glowy flower things and these weird hoppy animals, they're everywhere you go on the planet. I mean, everywhere. That's kind of how it works. The planet is just sort of like a palette or like a canvas of stuff. And so everything looks the same no matter where you land, for the most part. You know what I'm saying? There's a biome theme to the whole planet. Light No Fire, he goes from like a lush environment to like a lake to like a snow-capped mountain to like, I mean, it seems like the areas are bespoke and built. Like, because when he goes into the one area, there's like a leader, there's all these different units, like these rabbits and stuff. That seems like something that's been built and not procedurally generated. I don't know if they could take that and just drop that into No Man's Sky. Does that make sense? If they did it in game, it would need a purchase button. And after that, you'd go to the planet, it would close No Man's Sky and launch Light No Fire. For sure. For sure. It would need to be something like that. Like, I don't necessarily think that you could be like, hey, I've got an idea. Let's put it all in there. You can play in either place. Like, I don't know if that would necessarily be possible. Guys, really quickly, if you haven't done so already, please press that like button. Try to get us to 200 likes. I greatly appreciate it. If they do something in No Man's Sky, I think it's going to be some kind of an event, a puzzle, maybe something tied to the expedition. You know, there could be a new expedition or something where, you know, they have you solving something inside the game. You know, that could certainly be a part of it. If the whole planet is handmade and Light No Fire, that'd be mind-blowing. Sounds too good to be true. Well, I mean, I think that's part of the issue, right? Is that you're dealing with something that's so ambitious. That's why I don't know if I don't know if we're going to see it anytime soon. I'm kind of surprised they announced it when they did. They have devs talking about how they're creating things that don't exist. Right. So, yeah, it's probably not soon at hand. It's probably not like, right around the corner. It's probably, I would think, a couple years out still. Netflix also considered buying EA and Disney. Sean Murray just confirmed we won't see it soon. When did he do that? Did he do that on Did he do that on Twitter somewhere? Starting to look like a PS6 release. I mean, here's what's interesting. And again, this is where timelines get kind of muddy. So he announces it in 2023 and says, the next game from Hello Games, we've been working on this for the last 5 years. Okay, so if 2023 is 5 years, we're now coming to the year of year 7. And we're coming to the end of year 7. If it takes another 2 years from this year, I mean, you're talking about a 9-year dev cycle. I don't know how long they worked on No Man's Sky. How long was No Man's Sky in dev before official release date? My memory is that it was like a short window. No Man's Sky was in development for approximately 3 years before its initial release in 2016. Obviously, it took them like another year or two to really get it up to snuff. That's 5 years total if you even count the 2 years they added all the stuff that was missing. So that's 5 years. If they've been working in 2023, they had been working on Light No Fire for 5 years. They have now been working on Light No Fire for 7 years. So I don't know. And again, the more ambitious the project, the longer it's going to take. So it's hard to know. I bet they already have a working planet right now. I mean, there's so many systems that are going to have to run properly. I mean, the way they show it, it looks like it's going to be a shared world. Looks like there's going to be an online component. There's going to be questing, as far as we can tell, character customization, some kind of building, like you can build your own little settlement and your own little house and stuff. But are there also other people? If it's a genuine Earth-sized planet, is it going to be everybody on the same planet? How does that work? You can't have that many people on a given instance. So you have to have people in different instances or something. Like how, if you're not on my server, I'm not going to see your stuff, kind of a thing. Sean learned a lot of valuable lessons from No Man's Sky. He's going to let that game cook as long as it needs to. It also seems like he's, Light No Fire is a ways away. Let's see if we can find any of those news headlines. I saw the same thing. Tweaktown saying it may still be in pre-production. Let's see. In the recent update, Sean Murray says there's a small group working on Light No Fire in the background while the core focus remains on No Man's Sky. He says, here, let me get this on screen for you guys. Right here. In the background, another tiny team at Hello is continuing at pace on our next labor of love, Light No Fire, and we know a lot of you have been keen to hear more. For now, it suffices to say that I'm really pleased with the progress we are making, and I think it's going to be something really special. This would indicate the project is still in the pre-production phases. This could indicate. It all depends on the cadence. Yeah, like when you say a tiny team is working on it, they're saying it could be 2 to 3 years away. So this is speculation based on him saying, there's a tiny team currently working on it. They don't have a particularly large studio to begin with. So if a tiny team is working on it, yeah, it very likely could still be years away. Why would they announce a game in 2023 then? I don't know. I mean, sometimes it's a way to get, draw attention to your studio. So maybe you're trying to get more talent, hire investors, backers. Could have just been a simple way to get more people talking about Hello Games and No Man's Sky. A lot of the updates they've added to No Man's Sky have seemingly been, right out of Light No Fire. So, 2 to 3 means at least 3 to 4 in video game CEO talk. But he didn't actually say it. They're so Tweaktown is doing inference. They're inferring from him saying there's a tiny team currently working on it. They're sort of inferring from that there could still be like 2 to 3 years. Like, he didn't say that. He didn't say, "Oh yeah, we got 2 to 3 more years for sure." They could ship this thing late next year. I mean, you just don't know. I think he's avoiding what he did last time, which is doing a press circuit and an interview circuit like while they're building the game. So he's like, "Ooh, that feature sounds good. I'll mention that in the next interview." And if the feature doesn't make it, in their case, it was because of a flood. Features didn't make it. But they came later, which was great. It was cool that they, honored, Yo, what's good, Crack Baby? How are you doing, man? Shared to X. I appreciate it. Guys, make sure you go through that ritual as you come in. Hit that like button. My man, Noberto. Best way to spend my birthday morning. Also, don't make the rules, chat. Drop some gifted in the chat for my birthday. Noberto throwing the gauntlet down. We're going to need it. We may not be able to stream on Twitch this week if I can't figure out what the heck's going on over there. I'm getting some kind of an encoding error. We may end up just switching anyways and primarily streaming the talk show here and maybe gameplay over there. And I'll just request that people use their primes and then kind of bring back your memberships and your gifting back home here instead of over there. So, What Are the Game Awards statue isn't teasing a game at all, but rather a theme of gaming as a whole. 2025 has been a rebirth. Here's the problem with that, Raijin. A lot of people have thrown that theory out there, but I think there's a problem with the theory. The problem is you would not have someone like Jason Schreier saying, "Oh, it's not this game, it's not this game, it's not that game, but it is a good one." I don't think he would say that if it was just like a celebration of games. Yo, Harbinger with a gifted member, thank you so much. There it is. The first 25 of the week. And I owe you guys a member over here on YouTube. YouTube, you guys have a bit of an advantage today with us not streaming over there on Purple. Let me go ahead and pay you guys the member that I owe. Every 25, I gift one. No, that's not it, GG. I literally didn't change anything. I updated OBS, and if I run enhanced broadcasting, it does it, which is the only way for me to stream at high resolution over there. I've been streaming at high resolution over there on this rig since April. I have like a 4060 in this. It's more than capable of using NVENC for Twitch and AV1 for YouTube. We've had no problem. I updated OBS on Friday and the problem started then, so not sure what happened. I'm leaning towards it being FromSoft related. There are two vibes that I get from the statue. The strongest vibe I get is FromSoft. Like, it feels very FromSofty, right? But then putting a statue into the public, PlayStation has done that before. PlayStation did it with God of War, with Ragnarok, with the axe. They did it with the PlayStation 5. They did it with Horizon Forbidden West. Like, they've put statues into the public before. So I get that vibe from the statue itself. When I actually look at the statue and what's on it, I also feel like it could be the Path of Exile to the Last of the Druids update, which hits literally the day after the Game Awards. It seems to be the most thematically matched to that, if that makes sense. So, yeah, it's definitely an issue on their end or something. I don't know. There's a handful of things I could experiment with. I just couldn't do it this morning. I wanted to go live. I didn't want to make everybody wait. So, do we want to know what all the PlayStation Studios are working on? Within a certain approximation, we know kind of what they're working on, but, you know. It's not Saros. No, it doesn't match Saros at all. It does not match Saros at all. Saros doesn't have an alligator or a bear or a wolf or a snake or a bird in it. And it's not red. Saros is very clearly orange. It's like Eclipse Sun themed. Those are also massive franchises, and we're in the peak of the marketing cycles. Yeah. Yeah. Has From ever done anything like this? Didn't they do something? Didn't they? I thought they did something in the public with this. Was that, who did that? Did they do an ARG in a forest with a sword or something? Or am I imagining things? Was there an Elden Ring ARG event? I thought that was them. What am I thinking of? Was that Destiny that did the sword in like the forest and somebody found it? No, I don't think it's Control 2. It doesn't look like it. I believe it's Days Gone 2. No, Days Gone doesn't look demonic, like demons from the underworld. Yeah, it was a spear. Yeah, I'm confusing myself. Destiny 2 did like a spear. It was like in that tree that guy found. Yeah. Okay. Destiny did the Warmind spears in the forest. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I was confusing myself. For some reason, I thought that was a FromSoft because I think I'm remembering something. Didn't they send something to Elden Ring? Let me solo her statue. They sent something to Bandai Namco, sent Elden Ring Legend, Let Me Solo Her, an actual freaking sword. That's what it was. Okay, those two things kind of got mixed up in the blender of my mind. And they were like, oh, I thought they did something. So, yeah, Destiny did an ARG spear in the forest. And then Bandai sent an actual sword to Let Me Solo Her. Yeah. Oh, come on out. Elden Ring was released in 2022. Miyazaki said he was working on something big. So From Software announces it in 2025 to be released early 2027. Actually, it's the Valkyrie. Oh, yeah, it wasn't a spear. Yeah, it was the Valkyrie. Yeah. Bandai's awesome for that. Yeah, it was pretty cool. If you guys are just tuning in, we've been talking about all kinds of gaming news. We've been talking about the Game Awards, my top games of 2025. We have been taking your questions as well during Q&A. Game of the Decade, Destiny 2, Edge of Fate. Yeah, they're definitely on the edge of fate, that's for sure. We know Miyazaki's next game. We do? Dispatch was fun. Also, make sure if you guys are just tuning in, you have hit that like button. Excuse me. Make sure if you're listening and lurking, that you have taken a couple of seconds to do that very quickly there. Miyazaki's the lead on Duskbloods. Does Duskbloods have a release date yet? No, just 2026. Yeah, the vibe doesn't fit Duskbloods either. Excuse me. I don't think whatever it is has been announced yet. I think it's something new. And Duskbloods has that, just sort of gross, gross, creepy, grotesque vibe. So I don't think it's that either. Yeah. FromSoft's working on 2 projects, a Nintendo and a PlayStation exclusive. Wait, do we know for sure they're working on a PlayStation exclusive? Wasn't that I felt like that was I felt like that was a rumor. People always do these face swaps on these animated GIFs in Discord. Like, that's not Kevin Hart's face. It's so weird. They're working on an exclusive for... there was a rumor from Software working on a PlayStation exclusive. There was a rumor they were working on a PlayStation exclusive, I thought. There's no official announcement. Strong rumors suggest a new PS5 exclusive from FromSoft is likely. I felt like it was a rumor. I don't think there was any substance to it, though. Yeah, I don't know. Guys, double check real quick that it's saving your like. Try to get to 200 likes real quick. We're about to hit the 2-hour mark on the broadcast. Yeah, all I'm finding is the one about their Nintendo exclusive. So, Christopher Burnett submits a question. My top 5 games of the year: Death Stranding 2, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Ghost of Yotei, Final Fantasy Tactics, Metal Gear Solid Remake, Silent Hill F. Solid list. Very, very solid list. Spellbound. Spellbound was a rumor, though. We don't even know what that was. I mean, that could have been a code name for anything. Honestly, that could have been a code name for Duskbloods. I mean, there's just no way to know when you get that kind of a rumor, you know? They said they were working on a project, then Sony invested in Kanekawa. I think it was breadcrumbs. I don't remember there being any substance to it. I don't think we ran anything about it. I can't find an article on it. I don't know. I think that would be... I think it'd be huge. If there would have been news and headlines and stuff everywhere. I don't think so. Okay, the Player's Voice nominees have shrunk down to Expedition 33, Dispatch, Genshin, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Wuthering Waves. Genshin and Wuthering Waves are in there. They're still fighting, boys. For Player's Voice. For Player's Voice. It's a new Dig Dug. Let's go Dispatch. Yeah, it's pretty impressive that Dispatch is in there fighting with some really, really big titles. That's pretty impressive. Players love Genshin. I mean, when you're a popular game and it's a popular vote, it's it's not surprising that like Wuthering Waves and Genshin are on there. You know, they're popular games. Lots of people play them. Lots of people play them. Why are you in love with Arc Raiders? Arc Raiders has got a good content loop, man. It's got a good content loop. So, all right, y'all. I'm gonna call it. We're 2 hours in. I feel like we had enough discussion, enough talk, enough Q&A. We're obviously gonna have to do some technical testing today anyway. I'm gonna need a little bit of time for that to figure out what in the world's going on. We're also gonna have to brainstorm about what we want to do. Good reason to be a member is so you can continue hanging out with us in the green room, in the Discord. So make sure your membership's active. Hit like, hit join, all the things, and I'll see you guys in the Discord. And thanks so much for a great show. We'll see you tomorrow.